I'd like to call this December 3, 2024 meeting of the Henderson City County Planning Commission to order. Thank everybody for coming. We appreciate it very much. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Thank you. David Dixon.
Here.
Kevin Richard. Bobby Jarrett.
Here.
Mac Arnold.
Here.
XR Royster.
Here.
Dickie Johnson.
Here.
Gary Gibson.
Here.
Gray Hodge.
Here.
Stacy Denton.
Here.
Kevin Herron.
Here.
Frank Boyette.
Here.
Heather Tays.
Very good. Do we have a quorum?
We do.
Very good. We have one item under public hearing, so I need a motion to go into public hearing. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of entering public hearing, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Yes. Very good. We are in public hearing, and the first order of business is approval of the minutes from the November 5th, 2024 meeting.
So move. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the minutes as presented, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Excellent. Minutes are approved. And now I need a motion to leave public hearing.
So move. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of leaving public hearing, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? We are out of public hearing. And the first order of business is the November finance report. Ms. Thompson, you're going to help us with that?
Yes, be more than happy to. We are 5 months into our budget year, and we're holding steady at 43%. Last year, we were at 47% at this time last year. And I'm here if you have any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Thompson from the board? I'll entertain a motion in regard to the finance report.
So move. Second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approval, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Finance report is approved. Thank you. Next item is the bond report. Ms. Marks.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do have 3 items for review on the bond report. The first is going to be Rideouts Service Center. We were holding a bond for entrances, driveways that they were doing in their new building there in the amount of $35,950. The recommendation is to release the bond. That work is completed there. The second project is going to be River's Edge. We currently hold a bond for sidewalks that are not put in yet through there for $2,420. The recommendation is to extend the sidewalk bonding for 1 year. The amount would need to increase to $6,910 to cover the cost of work for 2025. The third project is for Balmoral. We currently hold a CD in the amount of $3,800. The recommendation is to extend at the same amount. 3 of the lots are complete, 2 of those are under construction, and then there are still a few more to be completed at this time. So if you guys are good with that, we'll move forward with those bonds.
Any questions in regard to the bond report?
Yeah, on the River's Edge, why was it such a big increase from 2,400 to 69?
The 2,400 is actually the amount for 2022. They have not made an update on their bond in a year. So that is the amount from 2 years ago. So we are requesting that. We will be sending the letter certified this time to make sure that they are fully aware of the amounts that are needed to be submitted on that.
Okay.
Any other questions concerning the bond report? If not, I'll entertain a motion in regard to its approval.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to approve the bond report as submitted.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Further questions? All in favor of approval, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Bond report is approved. Thank you very much. Moving on to the Buffalo Wild Wings Go site plan. Ms. Marks, you got that one too?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Buffalo Wild Wings Go site plan submitted by Marati Donuts for Realty LLC for the property located in the city of Henderson at 2222 US Highway 41 North, being parcel ID number 65B-48. The applicants are requesting site plan approval. So you'll see in your packet, there is a site plan. We're kind of just looking at, this is the Dunkin' Donuts site, and so in front of the Sleep Inn there. This is just a portion of the building, so kind of where the cursor is, that's where the existing Dunkin' Donuts is. There, there's an entry door that kind of shows you where this location is if you drive by and see it. So this will actually only take up this portion of the building. Their plan is to also have a future third tenant, but they, at the time of this being submitted, they're unaware of who that third tenant will be. They just have plans for that. So this is, I was gonna make it bigger for you guys. Their agent is here if you have any questions on project. Let's see here. So I can zoom in and make it a little bigger.
Okay, just to get oriented, we've got 41 North at the bottom of that.
Yes,
Drawing.
so 41's down here. If you've been to the Dunkin', their drive-through's over here. Sleep In's back here.
Well, this is the, what will they be, like, will they be doing like a delivery, or people be coming in?
My understanding of the Buffalo Wild Wings Go is that it is almost just like a pickup location. Similar, it makes me think of similar to Wingstop in Evansville there. They make do everything there, but you really, I think there were a few tables inside kind of shown, but it's not really to sit and eat there. You would just get it to go.
Okay.
They recently opened one up in Newburgh. Seems to be going well, so I don't know if that's the way this stuff is moving or what, but.
So there's no drive-through or anything with the pipe?
No, it'll just be a walk-in pickup location and kind of walk out. There's a small kitchen, there's no bar, no, TVs, not the typical Buffalo Wild Wings that you're used to seeing.
You say there's no drive-through?
Not for this location,
What
no.
are these,
There's
what
a
are these
drive-through
cars
for-
indicating here?
That's for Dunkin', so this is, since it's all on the same site, they are showing us, kind of how the site is currently laid out. So these are for Dunkin'.
Okay,
That's the
so
Dunkin' drive-through there.
which part of this building is this going to be in?
The grade.
The dark
section
gray
here,
section?
correct.
Okay.
Mhm. Like I said, this part here is a potential future tenant, and then this section is the Dunkin'.
Okay, okay. Any other questions for staff? Do we need to hear from the applicant? Do I have a question for the applicant? Would the applicant's representative like to speak?
I think Jennifer already covered basically everything. Sorry.
I need to get your name, sir,
Daniel Hood,
and your address.
10400 Indiana 662 Newburgh, Indiana.
Okay, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Good, good. What can you tell us about this project?
I think Jennifer already covered all the important aspects. It is just a pickup. There's a few tables and chairs, but it's not primarily for that. It's primarily for picking up orders to go. There's not a drive-through, so it is walk-in pickup only.
Okay, any questions for this gentleman?
Is this connected with the Wild Wing, which is just around the street there, I guess, from it? Or is this totally separate?
Oh, that's Wings Accept.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
different company.
excuse me. For some reason,
Okay.
Yeah, weird wings are wings, so.
A lot of wings out there.
Yes.
Well, they had that on the news tonight, about that in Newburgh. They showed the inside. You get a walk-in and you pick up, or you order the head and then they had it ready for you to pick up when you get there. And there could be no TV, no bar. That's it.
Okay, any other questions for this gentleman? Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming. Anybody else have anything they want to add about this project? If not, I'll entertain a motion in regard to the Buffalo Wild Wings Go site plan as presented.
I make a motion to approve the site plan as presented.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Bobby Jarrett.
Yes.
Mac Arnold.
Yes.
XR Royster.
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
Gary Gibson.
Yes.
Gray Hodge.
yes,
Stacy Denton. Yes. Kevin Herron.
Yes.
Frank Boyette.
Yes. Very good, motion passes. The next item is administrative business having to do with the rezoning 1160. Mr. Bishop?
Yes, sir.
kick that off.
Yes, the Plan Commission may recall that last month we had a rezoning for parcel ID number 46-84. It was a bit unorthodox in that it was subject to the Board of Zoning Adjustment approval via the conditional use permit and a site plan that would come back to the Plan Commission. So as directed, we have come back with findings in fact in support of a recommendation. And I think Mr. Friday is here to elaborate on kind of the irregularities of it with the BOZA. Mr. Friday, you can explain where I'm not doing a very good job.
You're doing fine. BOZA turned this project down, but that doesn't change our role. We're required, we had our public hearing, and we are proposing findings of fact and a motion based on that public hearing. It's subject to a conditional use permit from BOZA, but the city could still rezone, change the zone on this property to heavy industrial, but Temple could not build a battery storage facility until they got the approval of BOZA, which could come year, 2 years, 5 years, sometime down the road. But even if it were not conditioned on approval from BOZA, the regulations require a conditional use permit. We put that in as a condition more to put people on notice, but it would be the case even if we hadn't. So we need to move forward. We're required to make a recommendation and findings of fact to support our motion. Does anyone have any questions?
Can the city commission, can they issue a conditional use permit? Can they override the
No,
Board of Zoning Adjustment?
I don't think so. That's not our representative Board of Zoning Adjustment, the city attorney does, but our representative Seabri's BOZA. They can't.
It was turned down through them. How long is it before that they could reapply?
I don't know that.
Okay, any other questions
I
about
think
that?
there is a time period there.
Any other questions about the procedural situation here? We have approved the rezoning based on findings of fact that we have now developed and are ready to look at this evening, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, would you share these with us, and
Yes,
Mr. Bishop?
and I apologize in advance. This is going to be a little lengthy, so my voice may get a little annoying, so I apologize in advance. Rezoning 1160 with the graphic and narrative development plans submitted by Henderson Municipal Power and Light for the property located in the city of Henderson at 2230 South Green Street, being parcel ID number 46-84, containing 6.878 acres. The applicants have submitted a zoning change map amendment application with the graphic and narrative development plans from general business to heavy industrial to expand the existing substation to include a battery energy storage system. The motion, I move that the Plan Commission recommend that the Henderson Board of Commissioners, the city, approve rezoning application 1160, changing the zoning classification from general business to heavy industrial with both graphic and narrative development plans to develop a battery energy storage system facility at the existing substation, subject to the approval of an engineered site plan by the Plan Commission and subject to the applicant obtaining a conditional use permit from the city of Henderson Board of Zoning Adjustment. I leave the motion open for other members of the Plan Commission to add findings, excuse me, in fact, in support of this motion because the proposed rezoning is not in agreement with the future land use map of the comprehensive plan. However, the proposed uses in the agreement with is in agreement with other elements of the current comprehensive plan. The existing zoning classification is inappropriate and the requested map amendment zone change to heavy industrial for substation battery storage and related uses is appropriate among other things because we assume here that Green Street US 60 West runs east and west. The site is bounded by the north by Green Street and by the east by residential housing, on the south by open land, and on the west by railroad tracks that serve the nearby heavy industrial area. The site has historically been used as a substation and currently being used by Henderson Municipal Fire and Light as substation number 7. The applicant has agreed to provide screening between the battery storage facility and the back of the residential houses which front on Old Corden Road to the east. The site was chosen as it can be utilized to store unused electricity generated by Hempel, Hempel's nearby solar generating facility for later use at its own transmission lines, and avoiding paying the necessary fees to use the public distribution grid. Battery storage will improve the resiliency and local electric generation and distribution and save money, keeping rates lower for customers by reducing the amount of electricity Hempel must purchase from outside sources. The battery storage facility will provide a cost savings of upward $1 million to Henderson Municipal Power and Light customers. Battery storage is necessary to take the excess power off the grid in low usage times when it's not needed and put it back in the grid during high demand times. Hempel has agreed to enter into a written agreement with Henderson Fire Department, agreeing to, among other things, needed financial support. Hempel agreed during the public hearing with its full board of directors in attendance to restrict the use of the site to an electrical distribution transmission substation, battery storage, and other related electrical distribution uses, thereby waiving all other uses permitted in the heavy industrial zone as a covenant running with the land. In order to change or expand such restricted uses, the owner would be required to file a zone change map amendment application with the Plan Commission. Hempel has agreed to abide by the current and future industry best practice standards. The existing Hempel substation number 7, where the battery storage system is proposed, utilizes or uses 30% of Hempel's total output of distribution. The battery storage facility is relatively small, 12 megawatts, 15 enclosed battery storage structures, 12 megawatts for 1 hour duration, and a total of 48 megawatts over a 4-hour time period. The proposed rezoning is in agreement with the following elements of the adopted comprehensive plan. Balancing land use. Goal 1, wisely plan for land use in appropriate locations to maximize quality design and minimize the adverse impacts of development. Objective F, encourage innovative, safe, and sustainable design for new development and infrastructure. Objective I, guide industrial growth to existing industrial areas and ensure they are compatible with the surrounding uses and are served by adequate public facilities and services. Protecting natural systems. Goal 1, protect and enhance quality of the natural environment while permitting appropriate development on suitable lands. Objective A, encourage innovative design sites with constraints based on the presence of natural systems and incentivize the protection of quality open space. Then we have attachments. As part of the recommendation to approve the requested rezoning, the Planning Commission staff shall forward all relevant information to the Board of Commissioners, including but not limited to the above and the following, all of which are incorporated herein by reference. A full transcript of the meetings as they pertain to this proposal. Map amendment rezoning, including the public hearing, evidence, and testimony for and against. The motion to recommend approval and to table for staff to prepare proposed findings of fact. Attendees at the public hearing were also asked to sign in at the door. The sign-in sheet are attached here to and incorporated by reference, graphic plan and narrative development plan. And the summary, rather than just summarizing the evidence and testimony, a full transcript of the public hearing is attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference to provide a better understanding of the proceedings, in addition to the following brief summary. The applicant waived the deadline for the Planning Commission to make a recommendation to the city. During the public hearing, while under oath and with the entire board present, the board of directors in attendance, the applicant agreed to restrict the use of the 6.8 acres site to only electric transmission, substation, and battery storage, and waive any other uses in the heavy industrial M2 zones, which would require the applicant to come back to the planning commission with a map amendment rezoning application if it is ever different or additional use. Lithium iron phosphate batteries will be utilized in this battery storage facility. In addition to the solar power generated from Hempel solar generation, the batteries can be charged from low-cost purchased electricity. Sometimes such power can be purchased at a rate that is less in cost to produce. The facility will be continuously monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by NextEra Energy for the safety and other reasons. The facility has been designed to contain any thermal runaway overheating at the module or rack level within the cabinet or unit it is located in, should such an event occur. There was discussion of the evacuation zone around the facility, which ranged from 1 mile to 50 feet. Hempel reported that the 2023 firefighter safety standard down firefighting operations with lithium iron batteries recommends 150 feet from the document was introduced into the record. Hempel expects a new NextEra study for this specific site and recommend an evacuation or safety zone of 50 feet outside the proposed fence. NextEra is working on a plume study for this site, which is expected to show 50 feet from the fence, 50 feet outside or beyond the fence, which is shown on the graphic development plan to be constructed by Hempel around the proposed battery storage facility unsafe zone. Hempel stated under oath that it's committing to take care of customers in the event of an incident. Hempel verbally agreed to adhere to all current and future federal, state, and local ordinances, guidelines and safety protocols and other factors. The Planning Commission asked the City of Henderson Fire Department to address this matter. The Fire Department addressed the Planning Commission and reported that they have employed a consultant, Summit Fire Consultants, to evaluate the proposed site and the proposed facility. And such study was currently underway with no prediction of a completion date. The superintendent of the Henderson County School System voiced support for this proposed battery storage facility on behalf of both the school system and himself personally. The applicant reported that the operator, NextEra, has committed to comply with all fire industry and EPA standards. 3 people spoke against the rezoning, voicing fire safety and toxic fumes, increased insurance premiums, and reduction of property value concerns. The city attorney and the attorney for the City Board of Adjustment, at the request of the Planning Commission, addressed the procedure for obtaining a conditional use permit, including that BOZA could place restrictions on an approval and that BOZA has a half-mile notification requirement. BOZA has sent out 125 notice letters. The city manager also addressed the Planning Commission, reiterating any approval from the Planning Commission and the city would be subject to the site plan approval. He also addressed future guidelines and regulations. The applicant generally agreed to comply with the applicable industry standards or best practices, guidelines, and regulations, but they couldn't agree formally to whatever might come up, but generally agreed to comply with the standards that protect the public. The Planning Commission adopted speaking rules for the rezone.
Thank you. Commission have any questions about these findings of fact, reactions, comments?
Well, I would kind of like to see this report of Summit Fire Consultants also. I mean, I would have felt better voting in favor of this if I had seen it beforehand.
Mr. Boyd, that can be with the site plan.
Okay.
We can require that with the site plan.
Okay.
Other questions?
Does Hempel have any, I mean, I know there's several solar fields out there that have been put in that I understand are going to be to provide energy to Hempel. Is there storage on those sites?
So one of the 3 solar farms that we have approved is for Hempel's use solely, and that is the one located near or along 425. So that power will be generated and for Hempel's use. So this battery storage system will be in conjunction with that. Did I answer your question?
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't know if there was battery storage on that site where they?
For the solar panels? No, just solar, just solar panels, excuse me.
Well, does the city gonna get benefit from this, or the county, in one of them?
According to Hempel, Hempel customers will see a benefit in cost savings and a greater efficiency in the grid, for lack of a better word to describe it.
But that's what, we need to look at, make sure that the citizens of the county get some type of benefit, I know the fire department, they hadn't said very much about it, and the city hadn't said very much. It's something like it's new, but we know it's coming. We know it's coming, not around here, but around other places.
In the findings we made, TJ did a really good job of explaining that Hempel stated there could be up to $1 million in savings for its customers.
That sounds good.
Other questions or comments regarding the findings of fact? This, I think, would, if these findings of fact are approved, that would conclude our consideration of this rezoning, correct?
Until the site plan comes back, yes.
Okay. That, so it would move on through normal channels to the city commission, where they can take or not take their normal steps.
Right.
They could let it sit and become rezoning go into effect, right?
Yes.
They could have their own public hearing, and they could take their own vote up or down on it, correct?
Correct, because the plan commission only recommends.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion in regard to these proposed findings of fact for rezoning 1160.
Well, I guess since we've already pretty much stepped out on that ledge, we might as well follow through and approve these findings of fact and narrative development plan.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion?
Is that Dickey for the second, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. No other discussion, folks? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mac Arnold,
Yes.
Dickey Johnson,
Yes.
Frank Boyette,
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett. Yes. Stacy Denton,
Yes.
Gary Gibson,
Yes.
Kevin Herron,
Yes.
XR Royster,
Yes.
Gray Hodge.
Abstain.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. The motion passes. Thank you all. Next on the agenda, I think we've got some other business we need to discuss, Mr. Fisher.
Yes, sir. Just to remind everyone that the planning commission voted to change our deadlines for the December meeting. So the deadline will be December 10th, and LDC will be December 17th. By doing that, that keeps us on track to have our January 7th meeting for the first one of 2025. Just a friendly reminder to everyone.
Okay. And public hearing concerning the comprehensive plan update?
So we will be bringing the findings, or I'm sorry, the goals and objectives back that we worked on for recommendation. TJ, if I'm not mistaken, we recommend those to the Board of Commissioners and Fiscal Court. In court. So, we will be recommending, that will be back before us next month, and then we can talk about adopting the entire future land use map.
Okay. But we do need to hold a public hearing on that particular chapter, is that correct? Chapter concerning
To officially adopt it.
enabling I-69.
So goals and objectives. So do you think bring it back to the February meeting to be safe?
Well, just set with those objectives that they approved.
Chairman, did you hear that? I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
The city, county, and Gordon have to approve the goals and objectives. Then staff can put it on the agenda for the next meeting for public hearing. And after that.
Okay. So they would approve the goals and objectives before the public hearing is held?
They have to.
Okay.
The members of the planning commission, city, county, joint planning commission, city, county, and Gordon are required by statute to approve the goals and objectives before we can go forward with comprehensive plan.
They kind of set the overall,
Correct.
and then we,
And this time, we're
Flesh it
not
out.
doing the whole comprehensive plan, we're only doing one section, but procedure is the same.
okay. Okay, very good. Anything else, Mr. Bishop, we need to discuss?
No, sir.
The meeting on December the 10th, what is that for?
Well, it's not a big, it's the deadline for rezonings and things of that nature, to go to the January. So the LDC meeting.
LDC is on 17th.
Correct.
We've moved the deadline in order to keep meeting schedule as we should.
We moved everything up 1 week roughly.
Okay. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring forward this evening? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of adjournment, say yes.
I don't think we'll
Any
need to do
opposed?
that.
Thank you very much. We stand adjourned.